Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 5 a Day. This week we're looking at God and some of his attributes, some of the things that makes him who he is. If I was to ask you who the most popular person in our country is, I would guess it might be Queen Elizabeth II. This remarkable lady has been on a throne in the UK for now 68 years, surpassing the previous longest serving monarch, Victoria, by 5 years already. And hey, she's been around all of my life and all of the lives of many people, I guess, who are listening to this. And it would seem strange to not have her on the throne. But no one reigns forever, do they? In recent days, we've seen Liverpool celebrate the title of the Football League champions. If you're not into football, you probably won't know much about this, but you may have picked up a few things on the news. And I know from bitter experience that they're also champions of Europe. So right now, they're the top dogs. If you go back to the 70s and 80s, though, they kind of were the top dogs in English football, but also in Europe for much of the 70s and 80s. And yet, that was the first league victory for 31 years. Why? Because no one reigns forever. They were toppled by other teams who came along and took their mantle. No one reigns forever. We know that. Whenever someone wins, somebody else will soon come along and topple their throne, whether it's sporting achievement, whether it's the richest person in the country, whatever it might be. No one can stay on top forever. So, for example, I've mentioned Queen Elizabeth II and Victoria. Can you name the third longest serving monarch in this country? But is it true that no one lives forever? I'm going to say not, because God does. God is supreme. And so I want to look at today and tomorrow a little about the supremacy of God. God is supreme. In Samuel, we read this, 2 Samuel 7:22. How great you are, O sovereign Lord. There is none like you. We have never even heard of another God like you. And today, that's a valid thing to come, and a prayer to come from our lips. And I want us, during today and tomorrow, to acknowledge the supremacy of God. I want you and I to celebrate God and give him the place of honour he deserves in our lives by responding to some simple truths. So one today and one tomorrow. The first of those is God is great. So here are some verses to think on, to meditate on. Deuteronomy 10:17. For the Lord your God is the God of gods and Lord of lords. He is the great God, the mighty and awesome God, who shows no partiality and cannot be bribed. And Job, and we looked at a bit of Job last week, Job 36:26. Look, God is greater than we can understand. His years cannot be counted. And we turn to the Psalms, and Psalm 86:10 says, for you are great and perform wonderful deeds. You alone are God. 3 different parts of the Bible, 3 different types of literature, 3 different people writing, coming up with the same conclusion, that God is supreme. God is above everything and above everyone. There is no one that can compare to God. There's no one who's going to topple God from his throne. Scripture says he's the great high priest. He's the great shepherd. He does great and marvellous works. He has great thoughts towards us. He is great in power, great in mercy, great in kindness, and great in his love towards us. The truth, the reality is simple. God is supreme. He does what he wants, when he wants, the way he wants, just because he wants. The psalmist, let's join with the psalmist and recognise the supremacy of God. Psalm 95 verses 1 to 6. Come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us shout joyfully to the rock of our salvation. Let us come to him with thanksgiving. Let us sing psalms of praise to him. For the Lord is a great God, a great King above all gods. He holds in his hands the depths of the earth and the mightiest mountains. The sea belongs to him, for he made it. His hands form the dry land too. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. Let's think on these things. Let's see the supremacy of God. Let's see God as he is, high and lifted up. I just want to finish this little area tomorrow. I will be on much earlier tomorrow morning, so I'll probably be on about 8 o'clock, but don't worry, because if you're used to tuning in at 9, you still can, because it should be here on YouTube for you. Bless you, have a fantastic day, and I hope you can join me tomorrow.